SVG.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The time is now 7:17. You're listening to Ari, and with me is Roleza this morning, and we are Activated Mornings.
Yep, we are.
Just want to say good morning to everyone on their way to work, school, just starting their day. Everyone within the sound of my voice, those in the diaspora, and everyone locked on at 99.9 WEFM, the clean, fresh sound this bright Tuesday morning. Good morning, Roleza.
Morning, SVG. Morning, region. Morning, diaspora. Morning,
that
everybody.
Sound like 9 mornings, morning.
It's Easter time. People counting down. People are most certainly counting down to Thursday.
The holiday start on Thursday? Oh, Thursday the last day of our work.
Thursday will be the last work for most persons who have a 5-day week. But if you work on a Saturday, chances are you have to show up on a Saturday, but still you get a break, So we're celebrating that too.
Yeah. So again, good morning to Anne and Joshua, always locked on to WEFM.
I think they're our co-hosts at this time.
Right? At this point, they're co-hosts.
They are our ambassadors or honorary co-hosts.
Well, yeah, let's start off on some not so positive news. We saw on IWN yesterday that Seabeza was found unresponsive outside of the Calliaqua Health. Well, sound low there. Calliaqua Health Center. I don't know. The thing is, because we don't know the circumstances surrounding it, it's hard to really dissect the issue.
Right. Well, I mean, what I got from Kenton's reports, we got the information from Kenton, is that it seems that it's as if the person encountered some difficulties while at the beach, and then they were taken to the health center. But they subsequently died before it seems they were able to receive assistance. They died in the vehicle. So that's really what happened in that case.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to give my commentary on it.
No, go ahead.
In that, I don't know, boy. You ever heard of this thing about Easter time and going to the beach?
No.
You've never? I don't know. It's as if faintly I heard growing up something about like this. This is the time of the year when things tend to happen a lot more when you go to the beach. And I think people don't go to the beach on Good Friday. Anyway, somebody could clarify if I don't think I made that up, but I think that is just something that I heard. But of course, I mean, life happens at any moment, anywhere, right? And things can go significantly wrong in our lives at any point in time. But if I'm not mistaken, this is the third such incident for the year.
Yeah, they seem very close together.
Right, they seem close together. We had a police officer who was swept out to sea in a freak accident. We also had somebody else who was discovered, I think, on the beach. I'm not sure if there are any more, but those are the two that are coming to mind at this time.
The one at Villa Indian Bay.
All right,
that happened.
That's another one.
The policeman happened.
And then there was one, I think a guy was found at Sandy Bay area, somewhere up that side. He was found there on the beach. So it's just, I don't believe necessarily in superstitions and omens or whatever. Because as I said, things do happen. It might just be coincidental. But, I think one of the good things is that he was able to, persons may have tried as quickly as possible to transport him to seek assistance. Now, I'm not sure if these were the persons who he went to the beach with, but, assistance was sought. But I guess in time we would know more in terms of what has happened with that particular situation.
I don't believe in any superstition or it being coincidence or anything like that. I just believe that we need to properly monitor these beaches, these popular areas that maybe, well, we did see that a lot of Coast Guard are leaving the service, or maybe we need more patrols around these areas since we don't have lifeguards. And then, as I said before, it's gonna be the same back and forth. We need this, we need that. Persons are gonna say, "Oh yeah, but maybe we don't, or maybe people just need to be careful." You never know. You never know on a beach. You never know what is going to happen. Unfortunately, the media nor the police have released any information so far, at least not to my knowledge, relating to what exactly happened on the beach, name of the person, any of that. But I don't know. I just really do think that persons need to, unfortunately, I have to say it, persons need to be careful when they go to the beach, pay attention to the weather reports, see when it's high tide, when it's a low tide, what the current strength is, how the winds are blowing. But I really do wish that something else was put in place to ensure persons' safety on the beaches. If it is that we are, in fact, a tourism-based economy, we have a tourism-based economy, we have to look into protecting persons who are at the beach, which are one of the natural, I don't want to say things, but one of the natural things that St. Vincent and the Grenadines offer. And you know what's going to happen? It's not until that happens to tourists is when you're going to see action being taken.
I do agree with you that for many of the popular beaches, we do need to have lifeguards on duty. And I don't necessarily view this as an additional expense. I think that this is just saving the lives of persons, right? We notice that there are some beaches that are very popular. Kittell's Beach is one for sure. Because whenever there is a cruise ship in, we tend to see that a lot of persons are down there on the beach, right? There is Brighton, there's Villa, there's Indian Bay. You know, the typical beaches that we know of. You know, some persons would frequent Mount Twain as well. So there are these beaches that we know that are generally popular. We know that on holidays, especially, that many persons would visit them. And I do not see this as an extra additional expense on the state if you are safeguarding the lives of others. It's the same like why we have police officers, right? So it's just that we're going to have these trained personnel who are on the beach. Should something happen, they're able to render assistance immediately, right? Who knows in this situation where whatever it is that the incident may have happened with this person, we didn't extend condolences to the family nor friends of the persons, but on behalf of the station, we are doing so at this time. But the thing of it is that who knows well, at this time, we're not aware of what the condition was. And maybe if there was immediate help available at the beach, who knows if that situation in terms of his death may have been averted. So it's just something that we need to think about as well.
Yep, very much so. Now, yesterday we spoke about minibus striking in the areas of...
Let me put my in one time.
Gome, Collins, Evisham, Carriere, and Mount Pleasant. Evans will reload HX8. Talker H2508, Prestige H5906, Pretty Boy HV623, Tidal HE540, SWAC HK710, HE74, and Gifted HP129. So they were protesting the deplorable conditions on the roads in these areas. Now, shortly after, we saw that some work was being done on the Carriere roads. I hear you put in your early. What are your thoughts on this?
Listen, all right. So the thing with this strike, I heard you and Crystal talking about, well, you debating it yesterday. You had opposing views with regards to that. What it is that I tend to have a problem with is these very short strikes that, okay, so in my opinion, at the time, it would not have amounted to much because you're saying that you were withdrawing your services for 2 days. I really and truly wondered how much attention was going to be given or how effective that strike was going to be, right? Because if it's only 8 persons flying a particular route, I wasn't being very optimistic. My came in as well with, so I noticed from a video shared by Kenton as well that some work was done. Now, I am not one of those persons who like to be placated, right? If I have an issue, I want for the matter to be addressed and addressed properly. What it is that I noticed happen there is that certain parts seem to have been filled in. My problem with this, and my problem has been with many of the other roads in SVG, is that we do the filling in thing, right? We do the patching thing. Now, how effective is the filling in and the patching thing? When it rains, what is going to happen again? When vehicles travels on it repeatedly, what is going to happen with it? So it's not a case of just going in and trying to smooth things over to maybe hope that they withdraw, they go back on the road, or to appease them in a sense. I don't believe in that. If you're going, my mother does always say, Ari, if you're going to do something, do it properly and done. And that is how it is, I feel. Right? That is how it is that I feel about a lot of our roads in SVG. Yes, we know that many of us have problems with our roads. Crab Hole, Clay Valley, I'm saying it again. But the thing of it is that if you just take the time to do the road properly the first time, you're not going to have to be doing these roads so often.
The thing is, I do believe that there's more to it than if they take the time, in the sense that I think more research and more work towards handling the drainage problems that most of our roads have need to be done in order for the roads to have longevity. Now, where there is the I keep forgetting the name of that, where they have the rocks between Shuffler and Kittles. You know what I'm talking about? They have the cage holding up the rocks there. No. When you pass Coconut Ranch, yes, where they have those rocks there. Around that area a few years ago, you couldn't properly drive there because the road was falling in. And they took their time and they repaved the road. And then when they did over Mandela Highway, that problem no longer exists. So it's not like it's not possible. They can do it. I don't know what's stopping them from doing it. I confused about that aspect, right? But I still feel the same way. The roads need to be fixed. The roads in these areas need to be fixed. The pedestrians can damage themselves on these roads. The person's private vehicle owners can damage themselves on these roads. Taxi operators usually don't want to drive some of these roads because they're not going to damage their vehicles on them. What I was saying and how I still feel is because generally minibus operators are very reckless on these roads, both when they're paved and when they're not paved, that they should not be the messenger in this case. They should not be the face for this plight. So maybe if it was like a combination between the taxi operators or some tourism entity like maybe like Carriere or something, but they're not going to get involved because they don't take tourists up in these areas. But if it was like a group effort outside, because when it's minibus, it's gonna take away from the issue, really.
Is it also because we don't take minibus strikes seriously? Is it part of that for you as well?
I think if minibus drivers, generally speaking, behave better on the road, for lack of a better description, then when it is that they have issues, then persons will be more receptive of the issues. Because you can't say, oh, the roads are so horrible, we need them fixed, and then when they fix, you're pelting up and down, putting people in more danger than they would have been in. And I don't know, I could be a conspiracy theorist, but maybe that is why some of the roads don't fix. They're like, let them van man.
That forms a speed bump.
Right? That is a sleeping police.
Yeah.
Well, that's a sleeping army. But I don't know. I do think the roads need to be fixed.
But I still have to, in a sense, even though it says I'm not happy with what was done because it wasn't done properly, I am still happy in a sense that their action resulted in a maybe not the best reaction, but it resulted in something. And it really shouldn't even have to take them wanting to withdraw the services for them to fix the road. You're seeing the road. Listen, I am just convinced that politicians will drive on certain roads. I'm convinced.
Nah, I won't say that because some of these places that these middle and upper class people live, their roads are horrible. Have you drove through Gun Hill?
Have you drove through Crab Hole, Clay Valley? I ain't going to stop saying it, I'm not going to stop saying it.
I'm telling you, Queens Drive. I think Kangan probably are the best roads for these areas that middle to upper class people live. But
Yeah.
generally speaking, it's some horrible roads they're living into. But someone says on WhatsApp, we fix the roads for now. I've always wondered if we can't get help from countries like Japan or North America in terms of road design and repair techniques. Japan, North America, Taiwan. We have a relationship with Taiwan, but it seems like the relationship is surrounded on begging. There's so many other benefits, in my opinion, but
Oh, God. Harry is the begging part. Okay.
but it's begging. It's every minute we're taking a loan, we're taking a soft loan here, we take a
you
loan
know, as
here.
you raised it, we probably need to delve into what type of projects, because so it's education that I know for sure that they invest in. They invest in agriculture. What else? What
Well,
other
the
areas?
Taiwanese. I think they're involved in health.
Entrepreneurship. I know for entrepreneurship as well, right? Okay.
I think they're invested in the general development of the country. That's the agreement, really.
But it may not be infrastructural projects.
It can be, because they did donate to the airport and they did donate to the Mandela Highway. And if you pay attention to the project signs, you'd see ICDF,
Okay, true.
which
True.
yeah,
You're
the
correct there.
Taiwanese. They usually involved in some of these projects, but then I don't believe it's in a managerial or coordinating chair. I believe it's more of a, you need some cash, here's the cash, we can either give it to you or we could lend it to you.
Maybe we'd have to explore that topic another time.
Yeah.
All right. So the time here is now. Jeez, I'm here since 6. Why is this happening? Anyhow, the time is now 7:33, and we are going to take a commercial break at this time. And remember that just around 7:35, we will be back with our traffic talk segment.
Pitch your daily